We had a great trip to New York. It was longer than we thought, based on a late arrival getting into New York with the Vice President was landing the same time we were, so we barely got there in time on Friday, and then watching the hockey game was terrific. But I don't think we envisioned a 2 a.m. arrival afterwards. It was a long day. Our kids enjoyed it. I'd do it again, but it was really a great atmosphere for us all to play in. We move on to Indiana tomorrow at 9 o'clock. They have a terrific team. Tom has done a great job with that program, and this team right now is playing, I think, its best defense it's played, short of probably the Oladipo team was really good defensively as well. They got multiple shooters at multiple positions, and Yogi Ferrell, the point guard, as you all know, has just changed the landscape. The point guard in the ball screen has changed basketball so much over the last 20 years. And he is elite. We're fortunate to have a very good one, too, in Derek Walton. So it's hard to stay in front of. Karras did more yesterday than he's done at all. This was the first time that he really tested himself more than he has. So it's day to day, and we'll wait and see when he's ready to go. But it's ultimately going to be his decision, and it could be soon, it could be later.
Glad we want to start us off.
Coach Beilein, just in terms of Karras and your 8 games into the Big Ten and your game out, what do you make of being able to hang in there without
9 games. We're halfway.
9 games into the
We're
Big
halfway.
10, 8 without Karras, though.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Just in terms of being able to be at the top of the pack even without.
Yeah, I think that while we're really proud of that, I don't want to rain on anybody's parade, but probably the strength of our schedule in the first 9 wasn't what's going to be in the next 9. So we have bigger challenges. It would be great to have Karras back sooner rather than later, but right now we can only do what we can do, and he only can do what he can do.
What do you make of game planning for Max Bielfeldt? Max
is a really good player. He's shooting threes for them. He's posted up for them. He's presenting challenges for everyone.
Has there been a moment at any point when you watch some Bielfeldt tape, you ever envision what he could do for you 15, 20 minutes a game this season?
No, that's a tough decision, but we decided to go with it. We had a lot of young players that were trending up last spring, Mark Donnell, Ricky Doyle, DJ Wilson, and we decided to, let's move forward, let's plan for the future.
Right.
With Karras, is he running and practicing?
What I said, I think, is sufficient. We'll see what he does today.
So
yesterday, he ran yesterday in practice, yes.
Okay. I guess when it comes to Yogi, all the different things that he can do, with all the scores that they have around him, how do you kind of try to go after him without?
Now the court is, because they have so many shooters, that court is wide, and they can do so many different things with him. It reminds me a lot of our team in 13, where there's Trey Burke with the ball. Okay, you challenge this guard him, but now you got Hardaway over here, and Stauskas over here, and Robinson over here, and then you got rebounders like Mitch McGarry and Jordan Morgan underneath, and John Horford, which they have in Max and in Bryant. So it is a big challenge. You can see why. Just look at their numbers; they're impressive.
Go ahead, Chris.
With Bryant, have you seen from film of him early in the year to now? I mean, the kid seems to be improving pretty good.
I think most freshmen will go through this phase where the game slows down for them and they just get better and better. And they're doing a great job of getting him in spots where he can do things offensively and defensively. So he's a great talent. He's a great talent.
Were there times on Saturday where you saw Duncan maybe force a couple of shots for the first time?
He took that. The one was a little bit untimely, but I liked that he had the gumption to shoot it. But it was what we call a shock 3, and we usually other teams take shock 3s. That was a shocker for all of us, and they got a layup on because people weren't even expecting him to shoot it. But that was rare. That's the one, and I'd rather have that on occasion than him turning down the really open shots. I know that's probably counterproductive for some people, but that's the mentality I want him to have. So you didn't see me get after him or anything. It just, probably not the right time to show that type of courage.
You feel like he's maybe slowing down, hitting the wall a little bit?
No.
Jennifer?
John, with 3 of your next 4 against ranked opponents, and as you alluded to, some much tougher games, do you like the way your team is playing without Karras winning the last 4? It seems like they may be finding kind of a gel and a chemistry without him.
I
Or do you think
that-
it's more important than ever to get him back now, if you can kind of address both of
Well,
those?
time will tell that, really, but no, it's important to get him back. I mean, once again, we have a very limited bench right now, and we've been watching every practice and trying to get number 7 and 8 to emerge somewhere, and it's just not happening. The games have been such that we couldn't experiment much in games. But we don't do any experimenting with Karras when he comes back. We got number 7 immediately. And so that would be, you know, Mohammed would probably move to number 6 and then, or 7, and Aubrey would stay, or 6 or 7. So all of a sudden now we got some depth at that position. We got plenty of depth at the big man. We don't have depth in the backcourt or in the forwards. So that's the biggest thing. That we can't, Zach Irvin cannot keep going 38 a game, and Derek Walton going 38 a game. But we really don't have another choice right now, trying to rest them and get ready. So that's the big, not only his talent, but the rest we get for our players.
Just to kind of follow up on the front end of my question that wasn't exactly clear, what does it mean to see your team kind of gelling the way that they have in his absence?
Well, it's been, you know, it's the old idea that if you recruit, you get the right people on the bus, they can adapt through all kinds of adversity. And we got really good young men on this bus that we get to coach up every day. Their attitude's great. They embrace our culture. Even though it puts them in the background, they're embracing our cultures. Our guys that aren't playing a lot of minutes, there's no issues. They're just trying to get better. They're just trying to get out there. And so I think it's positive news that we can do that, because they understand that the team is more important than their personal success right now.
Mark, Yogi's gotten you guys a couple different ways over the years, and one game I remember
7
a bunch of
threes,
threes,
yeah.
one game distributing. I mean, have you changed different ways you've tried to guard him as a result?
Yeah, I mean, his quickness is such that yeah, there's a lot of things you do. It's almost like is it a ball screen? Who's involved in the action? Is he in solo action? They'll isolate him now on the block. Yeah, I mean, he's a tough kid. He'll do really work fronting really hard. They'll put him in a ball screen. They'll open him up in space. What's really good is you have a really good player playing against him that can stay in front of him, and that's our hope that a combination of Derek and Mohammed can do that, and that we don't have to give as much help. But he's going to get his points. He's going to get to the foul line. He's going to get his assists. Try and don't let the other guys beat you. That's another thought.
He's different than a lot of other players you've seen. There's not really a good comp.
I would say the point guard at SMU.
Okay.
And that didn't work very well, yeah. But we didn't have Derek for that game. But I think those are 2 of the elite point guards in the country. I think Derek is growing in that area as well. I mean, people have to know what Derek's doing, especially at crunch time. And but those are 2, and one's a 4th-year guy, one's a 5th-year guy. They didn't jump. Their education was really important to them. You know, a lot of guys in Yogi's situation might have just went, and he's really, his stock has risen greatly. He's going to play after Indiana.
Over here to Simon.
Coach, you mentioned on the radio earlier you never really had a situation with Lavert, a guy that's been out this long,
Yeah.
without it being a season-ending injury. Is there any concern that when he is ready to come back, if throwing a guy in there with the guys gelling like they are right now?
Yeah, I mean, but knowing Karras and know the way the team works together and how versatile he is, he'll adapt. But there'll be days, you know, there are going to be games early that he will go out there and, you know what I mean, Zach's really comfortable doing some things now. But we'll figure it out. We'll just figure it out, and you know what, Karras will figure it out, and so will Zach and Derek and all the other starters and guys that come they'll figure it out.
And then just in terms of the next 2 games with the new schedule where you just have them at home, do you feel like you got a little bit of a break getting Indiana and Michigan, not having to go on the road and play them this year?
No, I mean, we got other obstacles on the road. We got to go to Ohio State. We got to go to Wisconsin in single plays, Nebraska in single plays. No, I don't see any breaks in a schedule, whether you're home or away or whatever. You better show up and play. And it's just good. The league has done a great job of scheduling now. We don't have these multi-game clusters. You don't have 3 or 4 in a row. You just got to get ready. Now this will be our 3rd and 7th day, so it's a mini one. But we can adapt to that. The big thing is getting them rest now and get them prepared. That's the real challenge, not are we home or away? Hopefully you can play well both spots.
Tony?
John, when you look back at the first half, 7-2, do you feel like you guys did what you needed to do in the first half of the season?
Yeah, I would take that. I mean, that would translate into a 14-4 year, which would be could be a Big Ten winner this year. But I'm not naive enough to know that the schedule, I think we've played 3 of the top 5 or 6 teams. And so there's 3 or 4 more, and the road games are going to be, some of them are, some of the teams are not in the top but are right there, they're road games. So we're going to have to really, we're going to have to play better, probably. We're really going to have to play better. And one way to do that is Karras returning, but if not, we still got to make it happen.